Hello, this is Glenn Yancey with InSource Solutions. Today I'll be presenting a video on determining the amount of platforms licensed in your Galaxy. So whenever we do develop platforms in our Galaxy to represent our nodes, in other words, the computers where we deploy our objects to, we have to stay within the count that our licensing gives us. So what tools do we have to determine that? What does my Galaxy license provide for me out of the box to say how many computers I can bring into the Galaxy fold? And there are platforms for servers and clients. Is that necessarily true? We'll discuss this as well. On the right, I have a picture from the Orchestra IDE. This shows one of my Galaxies. As you can see by the one that is highlighted and the one with a yellow icon, that is my Galaxy repository platform. That is a platform that must first be deployed so that other platforms can be deployed out from there to their respective machines. If we could remember, our Galaxy repository is the node, is the computer, is the server where our Galaxy objects are configured from. The other platforms that are listed here are shown with white server icons, and you may also see a little yellow or orange box on top of that to signify they are undeployed. So I have a total of 7 platforms. Here's the architecture to reflect that. I have 2 automation object servers, 1 Galaxy repository server, 1 Wonderware historian server, 2 visualization nodes, or in other words, my InTouch operator stations, and 1 machine that is my engineering or development station. That is where I can do my development from remotely if I'm not on the same machine as my Galaxy repository. So, 7 platforms that will represent each one of these machines. Your Galaxy license will be bundled with a bunch of things, such as how much I/O can I have in my Galaxy? Or in other words, how many active I/O points can I have that's communicating to my PLC or other device? I/O count is the first thing. Number 2, historian tags. How many tags can my historian server store? The third piece that I have here is a platform count, which in this scenario, this license, because of its size, comes pre-bundled with 4 platforms. And I will use my platforms for my Galaxy repository, my 2 object servers, which are my automation object servers, also known as AOS machines. They are the workhorse in the Galaxy while in runtime. They're the ones communicating to the PLC, sending data up to my historian and up to my visualization nodes. This also comes with 2 device integration licenses, 2 licenses that I can use to enable the Wonderware OI server or DA server that communicates to my PLC. Wonderware has a large line of device integration drivers that can be enabled on a machine. From previous videos, we do not enable our licenses by driver. We enable them by machine or by node. This dialog box would show up in our Wonderware Orchestra IDE underneath Help and About. When App Server is selected as our license type, we can see how many platforms we can create and how many have been created already. So how many can we create? That's our max count. How many do we have deployed so far? In this Galaxy that this dialog box was created for, there's only 5. Next piece is our development license. The machine on the top right is my engineering and development station. It will also require a platform if I'm going to check my values while in runtime. So the license that it requires is the Development Studio license. It will enable InTouch for Window Maker. It will enable the use of the Orchestra IDE, but more specifically, it comes with a license that will enable the use of 1 platform locally. So now I've got a total of 5 platforms. When I deploy a platform from my Galaxy repository to this machine, it may give me a warning to say that I have exceeded the amount of platforms. However, because the Development Studio license comes with its own platform, it will ignore the repercussions of that warning. So now, total of 5 platforms. Next comes our client licenses, our client platforms. Our 2 visualization nodes that we have at the top left will require what's called an InTouch for System Platform license. This license, the way that it's listed here, comes bundled with our Historian client, in other words, our tool to help us view our trend, our query piece, and Microsoft Excel for viewing data from our Wonderware Historian server. But it will also enable InTouch for Window Viewer. But there's a caveat here. The caveat is your application has to be of a certain application type. Whenever you create a new InTouch application, you're prompted with, do you want to create an InTouch View application or a standalone application? The InTouch View application says I am completely dependent on my Galaxy for all alarms, all history, security, and for all I/O. InTouch, if this is checked, will not be able to communicate directly to the PLC. It has to go through the Galaxy. It has to go through the object servers to communicate that information. Now with this, each visualization node, each InTouch for System platform license comes with its own platform license, thus increasing the number to 6, another one to 7, after both of those machines have been installed with their respective licenses. Now Wonderware takes this into account in that those visualization nodes, upon the next renewal of the comprehensive support licenses, those platform licenses that get installed locally on those 2 machines for the visualization nodes will then get rolled into the Galaxy license. So rather than 4, it actually will get 6 licenses dedicated for that Galaxy. It does not take into account the development platform that comes with the Development Studio license. So I do have a total of 7 platforms here, but only 6 will get rolled into the Galaxy repository. The 2 InTouch nodes, or the 2 visualization nodes, have their own local platform license that will eventually get rolled into the Galaxy repository, as we've mentioned. So to recap, licensing is handled by the Galaxy repository server license for our server platforms, and eventually for our client platforms, such as our InTouch applications. Platforms dedicated to servers are already bundled in to the Galaxy. Any additional platforms can be purchased for new server nodes, such as additional automation object servers or historian servers. And client licenses do come with their local platform license, but they will get rolled in to the Galaxy repository license upon comprehensive support renewal. Thank you very much for watching our video today on verifying the amount of platforms that our license allows for us to have.